Hi, everyone, and welcome back to It's Simple, Why Complicated podcast. Now, our topic today is when familiar pain feels like home. Today, we're diving into something a lot of us experience but rarely talk about openly: the way past trauma in a marriage or a long-term relationship can shape the connections you form afterwards, especially when you meet someone who's been through something similar and suddenly the bond feels deep, fast, strangely familiar. And I ask myself, why does that happen? And how can it help you heal or hold you back? So let's just break it down. Why shared trauma creates an instant connection. Okay, so when two people have lived through similar pain, there's an unspoken understanding. You don't have to explain every detail, the other person just gets it, right? And that kind of recognition feels safe, it feels rare, and it creates closeness that seems bigger than the amount of time you've known each other. You'll see each other's wounds. You will understand each other's triggers. You speak the same emotional language. And I got to be honest, it's comforting, it's validating, and it can feel like destiny. But the intensity isn't the same as compatibility. Now, how this bond can hold you back. And that's what I've been reflecting on. I've been reflecting on a lot lately. So a trauma-based connection isn't automatically unhealthy, but it can create challenges if you're not aware of them. And we are human. Some things we're not aware of that we're doing, not intentionally. So you might reinforce each other's fears instead of healing them. And we need to heal, if not individually, or we can heal together. You might avoid hard conversations because you don't want to trigger each other. And that thing right there, that triggering each other, that shit can be really serious. You might confuse emotional intensity with emotional stability. And we can't confuse the two, because then we become dependent on each other, and that's not healing. That's like creating a pattern. It's a cycle, and we have to break old patterns. We cannot repeat those because they feel familiar. So the danger isn't the connection itself, it's going unconscious inside it. So how both people can heal and grow together, right? My thoughts. The good news is that two people with similar trauma can absolutely build something healthy if they're both willing to grow, is what I've learned. So what it looks like is you name your patterns instead of hiding them. You set your boundaries early instead of letting things blur. You support each other without becoming each other's therapists. You encourage independence, not dependence. And you move slowly even when the connection feels fast. Healing isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. And I think that's where people get signals crossed. You got to become more aware, self-aware too, of things that you're doing as well as the other person. Becoming the best version of yourself in this. Like for you, it could be healing is understanding what your past relationship taught you, not just pain, but the patterns that you've gone through. It means rebuilding your identity, trusting your own judgment again, and learning how to regulate your emotions instead of reacting from old wounds. And I got to be honest with you guys, I definitely have reacted for some old wounds. And it's really important that we get the necessary healing that we need and don't just try to jump into a different relationship or a situationship because you got to heal first, you know? And then for the other person, healing can mean having space to process their own trauma, growing independently, and knowing the connection isn't built on only on shared pain. So like when both people do work, the relationship becomes something powerful, not a repetition of the past, but more of a partnership in healing. And that could be very beneficial. So, shared trauma may be what brought you together, but conscious healing is what will determine where you go next. So, when two people choose growth over comfort, honesty over avoidance, and awareness over autopilot, the connection becomes something real, something healthy, and something new. So, thanks for listening. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.